What are you doing?
I'm living my best life.
Shoveling pig poop, huh?
Well, yeah, somebody's got to do it.
Okay, we're gonna go do something a little cleaner.
Huh. Hey guys. Yeah, can't just show you the glorified stuff, right? So, yeah, that's my job today. Shoveling pig poop.
Have fun.
Thanks.
Hi guys, welcome back to Simple Acre Homestead. I thought today I'd take you on a little walkabout to check out some of the plants. Not the plants that I planted in the garden, but the plants that pop up naturally all by themselves and seem to thrive in this hot, dry summer. The weeds. Well, the so-called weeds. So what I'm finding out more and more is that everything really does have a purpose. As I'm weeding things, I'm checking with this little free app on my phone, very handy, making sure what it is and that it's safe to toss to the animals. But I'm also discovering that it has nutritional and medicinal purposes for humans as well. So I thought today we check out 5 of those things. I think this is really going to be a part 1 kind of video because the options are countless. Before we continue, I'd like to add the disclaimer that I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Please look things up on your own. I'm just sharing what I'm finding out. Okay, let's start with number 1. So the first one is catnip. I came here the other day. This was totally overgrown. I'll actually insert a picture so you can see what it looked like before, because I've actually pulled and hung to dry a bunch. But I was pulling this for the animals and I smelled it, and it smelled familiar. It smelled like a tea. So I looked it up, and turns out that catnip, and maybe many of you know this, but it doesn't just drive cats crazy, it has an opposite effect on humans. So it's often used in tea form, and it has a calming effect. It's good for digestive, stomach issues. It's good for anxiety, insomnia, among other things. The next one is Lambsquarter. This stuff is growing everywhere. Lambsquarter can be used medicinally and used as a poultice on insect bites, scrapes, sunburns, injuries, but it's also very nutritious. It's good for fiber, protein, vitamins A and C, calcium, omega-3 and fatty acids, among other things. Who knew? I thought it was just good for animal food. All right, number 3, here we have burdock growing right by our propane tank. Actually, it's growing everywhere. But this one has flowers. You can see a very nice purple flower. Burdock is used medicinally for its anti-inflammatory, antibacterial properties, great for skin conditions, and pretty much every part of it can be used. It's also used for joint pain, gout. Health food companies often market it in the form of supplements or tea, and usually that's marketed as a liver detoxifier. So I'm just scratching the surface of what this plant is good for. Typically you'll see it's the root that's used the most, and it's kind of a tough root to dig out. Typically I would just be pulling these like this for the animals, but it doesn't bring the root with it. So we're going to dig it up so you can see. All right, we're going to try a smaller one, see if it's easier to dig up, because these are tough. There we go. So often you'll see the root used for teas. Number 4, red clover. It's got a nice little purple flower. Looks a little bit similar to the purple flower on the burdock plant. Red clover, not to be confused with crimson clover, which is actually a red flower, is a purple flower, and it's often used for respiratory illnesses like asthma and bronchitis, for inflammatory issues like arthritis, and for women's health issues. This is actually growing in the garden, but I didn't plant it. But this year I will be saving seeds so that I can plant a bunch next year. Number 5, plantain. This stuff is popping up everywhere in the garden, in the yard, in the driveway, and it is growing wonderfully. So plantain has anti-inflammatory properties, among other things, and it's often used as a poultice on insect bites and wounds to reduce inflammation. It's edible, and there are many uses for it. So that's it for today, guys. I'm hoping you enjoyed this video, and I'd just like to repeat, I'm no expert on any of this stuff. Please look things up for yourselves before you use them. I'd love to hear from you, hear what's growing naturally in your garden or your yard, and what you use these things for as well, because I know I just scratched the surface. There are so many uses for all of this. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks.